Yo, yo, yo. This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. And it is Saturday, October 17th, y'all. I hope y'all are doing good. Yeah, this is usually the day before not having to do a podcast. So it's been super amazing. How are y'all doing? I know that we got this Libra new moon, and if you are a Cancer, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, the cardinal signs, you may be feeling this the most. Like, it may feel like there's like a delay, frustrating. On top of that, there's a Mercury retrograde, so you might be feeling it a lot more than other signs. And me being a Capricorn sun, me being a Libra ascended, yeah, yesterday it just was one of those days. Like, it's one of those things where you put yourself in a certain circumstance, and within putting yourself in that circumstance, you then at kind of like the last minute want to try to turn everything around. Like, you're like, oh, I need this by this, da 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 da. And sometimes it can work out. I more so had to come to the realization that the limits and you feeling stuck, I had to tell myself that's all you. And it's frustrating, because you don't like, sometimes we don't like taking the blame for stuff. Now, taking the blame, taking accountability does not mean go in on yourself. Like, if I was just, whether it was myself or outside of myself, like, I was just so frustrated. I was trying, and I'm just all like, why isn't it working? I'm promoting, I'm doing this, and I started feeling like, everything was for nothing, and I had posted something on Facebook, and then I had deleted it because I was just all like, yo, you're just completely all in your feelings. And not that there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. Like, I'm being vulnerable with y'all right now, but there's just certain things that you just have to think. Like, it doesn't like matter what people think of you. There's just certain things you don't want to put out there, and I was watching this Eric Thomas video this morning, and he's just all like, yo, you've been doing something 10 or 11 years and you want to quit now? You should have quit when you first started. You should have quit, when this, and this. You want to quit? It's too late now. You need to keep going. And, that rung so true within myself, because one of the things that I was thinking about yesterday was just all like, yo, for one, there's several things that I've been doing, but the thing that I've been pushing the hardest, the thing that I've put the most energy into is my music. Like, literally since I was young, and I don't think that it's that I'm not supposed to do it. I don't think that that's the case. What it is that there's been a lot of demolishing my expectations with how things are supposed to go. Like, and the things that actually equate to said things, and understanding how my own personal energy works. And that's what a lot of this is. I was reading something when it came to projectors yesterday, and this was pretty on point, because it was, projectors and entrepreneurship, and one of the major issues is that, I'm into a lot of different things. Like, I really am. Like, look, I'm gonna start naming off stuff, and then this is why this is an issue. Okay, so I'm into, music. I've been making music for, at this point, it's almost been, as far as when I first wrote my first rhyme to now, it's been like 20 years, legit. I could definitely say that, because I started I started writing and remembering being able to write and being fond of writing all the way into the first grade. But I remember, writing actual rhymes fourth, fifth grade, as far as music, rap. So with me being a few months away from 30, yeah, it's that's what I put the majority of my energy into. Writing in general, but especially music. So there's that. My frustration as far as with that is that I feel like I should, if there's anything that I should be like making a living on as far as being able to fully take care of myself, it's that. And so the frustration is that, you know, I'm into all of these other things. So here we go into like another thing. So in the mix of leaving my job, in order to generate money and different things like that, I'm into, photography. I'm into, filming, documenting, like that has definitely been, I can't, like, especially when it comes to this majority of this decade, whether I had this camera or cameras from the past, this past decade, as far as my 20s, has been heavily documented. I have so much, and there's so much that's currently out there of these, like, this 10 years legit. It's pretty awesome. So my whole thing was, let me create a business that allows me to continue pursuing my music, but in the same token, be able, while I'm, doing certain things and getting to that point of having the music take care of me, pushing as far as these services and being able to help other artists in my boat to where they can get content out. So I'll do music videos, I'll do photo shoots, for a very, cheap price. But I didn't take the time to actually build up the skills for certain aspects, because my whole thing with doing video and photos and different things like that has been specifically to document. Like, that's all I like. As long as I can have footage or take footage, then I was good with that. So when it came to my services and different things like that, um, there would just not be this time to get better, because I would be trying to do my music, and I would be doing events, and I would be pushing, my book, which then comes to the next thing. So when I initially left my job, basically I have my music that I've had for years prior, and that's the main thing that I've put my energy into. And then I dropped this fiction book. Like, oh, snap. And within that, here I am trying to push my fiction book and push my services, because those are making money right now. And so I would put my music to the back burner, not taking the time to properly market or properly put myself in places to where I can generate, whether album sales or just streams in general. Like, y'all streaming this generates money. Y'all streaming my music, adding it to the playlist, and y'all just listening to it every other day or every day, or, a couple of times a month, that generates money for me. And so the issue was that I would have certain peaks throughout my musical career, and I would want those more often, because I would just be like, oh man, like, if I would get this paycheck more often, I would be good. Or if I got this streaming deposit and I amplified as far as the listens, then I'll be good. But because I was focusing on, like, right here and there things, and everything was just completely all over the place. So again, I'm in astrology, I'm into tarot, and everything that I do, for the most part, I'm able to generate money from it. And so it gets to this point where, as they were saying in this post, as far as for projectors, they're just all like, yo, realistically, you want to kind of focus on like 1 to 4 things. And for me, got way more than that, you know. So I have my music, I have my book, I have I have my music, I have my book, astrology, anime, tarot, videography, photography, editing service, the podcast, you know, tiny home and sustainable living, CBD, you know, as you can imagine. And I'm trying to like fit all of them in this thing, and it's just all like, yo, you're going to have to deposit some stuff for the time being, so that way you can get a standing on your own 2 feet. Like, the way that the projector strategy is, especially on social media as well, is that, you know, we don't have the energy to scatter ourselves out. Our energy is really 1 to 1. Now, does that mean we shouldn't be on social media? No, we're projectors. So the thing is that we have to project us doing the things that we love, you know. But there's a portion of doing things on the business level, and then doing things because you just like doing them, and trying to spread, like being on multiple platforms is probably a no for a projector. Like, be it all, because you don't need to be on everything, especially not yet. That's the thing. You would see a projector like Gary Vaynerchuk and be like, yo, I need to be doing this, and this. Here is the thing. There's a difference between architects and builders. Gary V projectors, they are the architects. So they're physically not out there building. He's physically not breaking down all of this content. He has a whole team doing that. That is literally the way that he's able to maneuver the way that he's doing, and it doesn't take much out of him as a projector because he's got everything, all of his systems in place. You know, so someone on the outside looking in, especially another projector, is just like, damn, well, I need to be on here. No. And I've thought about this for a little bit. I was just like, all right, I just need to pick a few platforms to just pour my energy into, and then call it a day for the time being. When I get to a point where I can be everywhere and I can just drop everything off everywhere, then we'll focus on that. But for the time being, yo, a combination between TikTok and Instagram, it should already be completely great, you know. But I know for me, Facebook is in there, and like this Unite the 99 app. You know, I guess those are the 4 apps that I need to completely, and of course, like, as far as like social apps, you know, YouTube and Anchor, these aren't things that I'm being necessarily social with. These are more so like publishing platforms and things like that, you know. So it's easy to get overwhelmed, and then everything is, you get to a point where you're like, what in the world, what am I you know. So a big thing that I'm working on is basically freeing up energy. I don't need to be doing every single thing, because that's taking my energy. Like, that's the magic with my energy, I believe. Like, if I'm not that, I don't need to be doing work, but if I'm doing more of the correct work, and it's funny because my homegirl, shout out to Queen Bella, she was saying this. She's just all like, I don't know, I just get clients and things like that as long as like I'm focusing on and I'm doing the things that I need to do for myself. You know, so sometimes I sit there and ask myself, well, am I doing the necessary things for myself? Like the health things, you know, the different things like that. And if not, because as a projector, this is what people are gonna see. They see the aura. No matter like my attention or what is it that I'm trying to say, you feel the aura. So that in itself, there's points where it's really frustrating, because it's just like, I want to be doing this and this, but it's just like, yo, you didn't even like save or set yourself up, or like, and it's not to say I've been like steamrolling just a few days. No, I've been really putting out content and things like that pretty consistently, more recently, but I just, there's certain things that are out of my control. There's things that are in my control, but there's definitely things that are out, and there's this one thing that I want to leave this with, and this is the ending of the chapter that I'm reading on Atomic Habits, and that is: habits can help you achieve all of these things, but fundamentally, they are not about having something. They are about becoming someone. And so, yes, that is going to be it for today. I hope y'all enjoy y'all Saturday. If you want to support me directly, you can get CBD, you can get a book, you can get an album, you can get a t-shirt. You can just Cash App me or PayPal donations, all those lovely things. But you can check all that out on the description. And again, my name is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Peace.